Hi children, welcome to class 7. Term 1 Social Science. History Lesson 1 Sources of Medieval India. The topic of the lesson is Sources of Medieval India. Before we are going to see the detail, let us recall about what is history. History is the study of recorded events of past in chronological order. Chronological meaning in Tamil, Kala Varisai. Arranged in the order in which the events happened. Now, we will move to the classification of history. History is classified into two. One is prehistory, another one is history. Prehistory means the period of time before written records. Prehistory means the period of time before written records. No recorded evidences available in prehistory. But history means the recorded documents of events. The documents are available, they are recorded it. The Indian history is classified into three types. They are the Hindu age, the Muslim age, the British age. The Hindu age, the Muslim age, the British age. Later on, the historian renamed those ages. The Hindu age was renamed as a ancient period, the Muslim age as a medieval period, the British age as a modern period. So, tell me children, what are the classification of Indian history? Ancient period, medieval period and the modern period. Children, in the 6th standard, you have already learned about the ancient period. In the 8th standard, you have going to learn about the modern period. Now, presently, we are going to learn about the medieval period. Now, the medieval period is classified into two. They are early medieval period, later medieval period. So, two classification of medieval period. One is early medieval period, another one is later medieval period. So, dear children, that was an introductory part. Shall we move on the lesson? Yes. Topic of the lesson is Sources of Medieval India. What are called sources? Sources are the supporting materials, documents or records in the form of evidence that help to reconstruct the past. What are called sources? Sources are the supporting materials, documents or records in the form of evidence that help to reconstruct the past. Sources are classified as primary sources and secondary sources. Sources are classified as primary sources and secondary sources. In the primary sources contains inscriptions, monuments, coins. What are the primary sources? Inscriptions, monuments, coins. In the secondary sources, we have religious and secular literature, books, biographies and autobiographies, travelers and travelogues. Now, we are going to study about inscriptions. What are called inscriptions? Inscriptions are writing engraved on solid surfaces such as rocks, stones, temple walls and metals. What are inscriptions? Inscriptions are writings engraved on solid surfaces such as rocks, stones, temple walls and metals. The king's royal decrees, dedications and donations, monuments raised in commemoration of victories in wars, those built in memory of deceased warriors. Decrees means அரசாணை, that orders passed by the king. Inscriptions meaning in Tamil கல்வெட்டுகள். The study of inscriptions called epigraphy. Dedications meaning in Tamil அர்ப்பணிப்பு. Donations meaning கொடைகள். Monuments நினைவு சின்னங்கள். Various types of lands gifted by the Chola king. They are வேளாண் வகை, பிரம்மதேயா, ஷலபோகா, பள்ளிச்சந்தம். வேளாண் வகை, பிரம்மதேயா, ஷலபோகா, தேவதானா, பள்ளிச்சந்தம். வேளாண் வகை was the land of non-Brahmin proprietors. That means people who did agriculture is called as வேளாண் வகை. Brahmadeya was land gifted to Brahmins. The Brahmins to take care of the temples. Shalaboha was the land for the maintenance of a school, to take care of the school. Devadana was the land gifted to temples. Pallichandam was the land donated to Jaina institution. These inscriptions gave information about the lands gifted by the Chola kings. Now we will see the copper inscriptions. In the 13th century onwards, instead of copper plates, they used palm leaves and paper because the copper was very costly. Stone inscriptions. It means inscription had written on the stone or rock. The major focus is upon the giver. For example, Thiruvalankkadu plates of Rajendra Chola first, Anbil plates of Sundara Chola. Next, we are going to see about monuments. Monuments could be a statue or a building or any other structure which is constructed to celebrate a notable person or an event. There are 6 types of monuments: temples, mosques, palaces, tombs, forts, minars and minarets. You know it, isn't it? Temple meaning kovil, mosque meaning masodi, palaces அரண்மனைகள், tombs கல்லறைகள், forts கோட்டைகள், minars and minarets mean ஸ்தூபிகள். Now we can see about the temples. First one, Khajuraho temple. The Khajuraho temple located in Madhya Pradesh. Second one, Konark temple. Konark temple in Odisha. The another name of the Konark temple is called Sun temple. Dilwara is in Mount Abu in Rajasthan. These temples are in northern India. Tanjavur Pragadiswara temple, Kangaikonda Cholapuram and Dharasuram temples are in Tamil Nadu. Vittal and Virupaksha temples at Hampi. Moving on the next monument, which is the mosques. Quds ul Islam Masjid, Modhi Masjid, Jama Masjid, Fatehpur Sikri Dargah, all in and around Delhi, and Charminar, Hyderabad are the important mosques belonging to the medieval times. Next one, forts. Agra Fort, Chittoor Fort, Gwalior Fort and Delhi Red Fort, as well as the forts of Daulatabad and Ferozshah Kotla, palaces in Jaipur, Jaisalmer and Jodhpur. Now we will see the coins. Some of them are interested in collecting coins are called numismatics. In the same way, the study of coin is also known as numismatics. Now, let us see what are the things which we can understand from the coins. We will able to get the name of kings with their portraits, events, places, dates, dynasties and logos. Portraits meaning Urvapadam. Dynasties Rajavamsam. Logos Adayala Chinnangal or symbols. If we get one old coin, we will able to know the name of kings with their titles and portraits of kings, events, places, dates, dynasties and symbol can be understood. After seeing the coins, we should go for the composition of the metal. The composition of metals in the coin gives us information on the economic condition of the empire. Mention of kings' achievements like military conquest, territorial expansion, trade links and religious faith also found in the coins. Muhammad Ghori, who is the invader of Turkey, had stamped the figure of goddess Lakshmi on his gold coins. From that, we can understand that the Turkish invader was liberal in his religious outlook. Copper details and silver tanga, which were introduced by Iltutmish, gave more information about Delhi sultans. Alauddin Khilji's gold coins, Muhammad bin Tughlaq's copper token currency are indicative of coinage as well as the economic prosperity of the country. A jidal contained 3.6 grains of silver. 48 jidals were equal to 1 silver tanga. 1 rupee is equal to 100 paise, isn't it? In the same way, 1 silver is equal to 48 jidals. Okay children, in this video we have learned about the details of primary sources. I will continue the remaining part in the next video. Thank you.